David Christie. We'll go for lunch.
Tim and I took a while to get used to each other, like I think everybody does on a project. It's a very important relationship between the director and the cameraman.
And I think that's why Kodak put out the new stock to blow up to compete, you know, with the lower budget ones. Because face it, there's just a lot of people that don't have the money to go full-scale 35. You're dealing with a lot heavier equipment, usually a lot more equipment. Stock is more expensive, processing, everything like that. So it's, you know, budget-wise, it seems to be much more cost-efficient to shoot at 16 and, you know, blow it up to 35. You know, if the stock can handle it. And this seems like it can. We've seen most of it on a wide screen, and quality-wise, it seems to be really well.
116-1.
You have a peek at this, and I think it's what we want.
Very nice.
Good.
You have to talk to an actor, and it's like any relationship in the film project. You have to communicate what you want to your cameraman, but more importantly, you have to communicate your original vision, however obscured it may be.
45 feet. Roughly a minute. So knock off 15 seconds for.
When you say lower lighting ratio, what do you mean? I'm just curious.
They don't want you to.
Sort of like this with the arrow here.
Yeah.
He sort of
Sure.
pulls it back like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Having to do the same mood, the same line again, like 5 different, like the same way, but having it shot 5 different directions, which I find is very difficult, especially, you know, when you're doing an emotional scene where somebody's dying like that. I mean, you'd all like to kind of really get emotional, just have that little bit of tear and try to really feel it, but it's very difficult to feel it like 5 or 6 times in a row. It's not a question of really acting. I think acting is more so for the stage. You know, here, as I say, less is more. You have to be more intimate with yourself.
Then there's special makeup. There's been cuts, bruises, scratches, and I've also had to design some prosthetic appliances for one of the actors who comes back in some nightmare dream sequences as a corpse.
I run through it. So in other words, you come into position, I'll give you a cue when you come into position, but you don't actually do the drop the gun boy until he's looking at you.
Very good.
We'll try it that way. All right.
I think it's a good idea, though, because the way film's going nowadays, all these big budgets, people don't want to make films because it costs too much money. But if people are more interested, and if they take a risk themselves, then they're going to work harder to make sure that this film comes across. And when I got back from school, for 3 weeks, we started shooting August 22nd. Dave and I went through all the schedules. You made all the schedules, like shooting schedules. And once we actually started into shooting, my job entails helping Dave during the day, doing different things. And at night, we have storyboarding conferences where we storyboard out the next day's shots. And it was a combination of things. We were, you know, running around, and we had all our actors, and all of a sudden they dropped out because of certain problems. And then at the same time, we lost our cameraman. It was like it was getting to be too much, all these problems we were entailing. But then we said, no, we're not going to quit, and away we went.
Camera?
170, take 2.
Action.
Drop it, boy. Drop it.